Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nas and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey everybody!
Hey everybody!
Naj and Jay here at
Viva Vegan in Newark.
Yeah.
Right off of the main street. And it's also known as Evangelina's Vegan Desserts.
So we are here with Evangelina today. We're going to be here talking about her bakery, her story about how this place opened, and honestly all about vegan life for the next half hour to 45 minutes. So thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
And Naj, I'm going to fall back and let you throw in the first question.
So Evangelina and I have been friends for some time now. We met at a gig, and I've been head over heels for her since. We have connected through the years for many different reasons, motherhood, musicianship, but also I married a vegan. And one of the things I had to learn very quickly is about veganism. And I found out that she was a vegan, and not just a vegan, but a vegan baker. And she is the only owner of the only vegan bakery.
She's the only owner of the only bacon only vegan only.
Of the only.
Only.
This place
Only Delaware.
That's it. Oh crap, the only Delaware.
Not the only Newark, but
Literally, right.
No, but to be very clear, this is the only vegan bakery in Delaware.
First.
And the first. So,
Yes.
I mean, can we start with that? Like, how did you go ahead and just jump in and decide to do that? It's a big leap.
Well,
Yes.
okay, so I started baking when my son was little because I went vegan as a teenager and I was the only vegan in my friends and like my family and everything. So I started baking just for me, and then when my son was old enough to go to school and have like birthday parties and stuff, he couldn't have any of the cakes or cupcakes or anything that everybody would have. So I was like, I need to obviously make stuff for him to send to school. And I'm a very competitive person. So I was like, I need my stuff to taste better than everyone else's stuff and to look better.
Yep.
So like it started out really badly. The first cake that I made was like crumbly. We had to eat it with a spoon out of the tray.
But you're committed.
Yeah,
That's right.
but over
That's
the
right.
years, it got better and better, and eventually in 2013-ish, people started asking me to bake for them, so I started baking for friends, and then I started baking for a local cafe that's not there anymore. It used to be, it was Fresh Times Cafe.
Oh yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah.
I remember that place. Yes, yes.
Near the Delaware Art Museum.
Yeah, they've changed so many times.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, that space is
And
still
they
there.
gave me my first start, and then that went well for a little while, so I started giving samples out to other places, and then Drop Squad Kitchen picked me up, and I was like exclusively baking there for a while, and they really, like, Drop Squad is like they're like my family, my other kitchen family. So yeah, that's how it started, and then like, eventually I was like, you know what, I'd rather do this and struggle than work my 9 to 5 and hate it all day and then go home and try to bake a little bit.
So did I gotta watch myself. Okay, let me get one more. I have so
Calm
many
down.
questions.
Did y'all see he almost left his body. Go ahead, Jay.
Have you always enjoyed cooking and baking?
No.
What?
That's why.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't start, like, I'm still not a good cook.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I didn't start baking until I had to. I can cook like decent enough for myself, but like I would not like chef for somebody else. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I did not start with the love. Like music was always my first love, and that's how I know you guys.
Well,
so.
Yes.
that's kind of where my head is because we're musicians. And
Yeah.
I started doing music because I really enjoy making music. So the idea that I would go down the path of something that I don't initially really enjoy interests me very much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just an interesting story that you started like, I'm just doing this because I need to make something for my kid, then competitive, and then you started to like it?
Then I started to like it. Yeah, and then it became an obsession where I was like learning about what, like, science behind baking, like what ingredients does this with this, and how do I make something that normally, like, the cookies that I have, they're normally like egg based. How do I make it without eggs? What does an egg do in a dish and stuff like that? So yeah, it became an obsession for me, and then I got to the point where I was like, I was still pursuing my music, and I still am, but I was like, well, why don't I make this my day job, and then I'll still pursue music on the side.
So tell us, you're baking, you're giving samples to different businesses, you get your big break, and then we're here. How did we get here?
We got here because what I learned over the years was, like, as much as I love baking for other businesses, their needs are always going to come first for themselves. So if they, like, I baked for Brouhaha for a while, and that was awesome, and I still love them, but after a while they were like, well, we don't really need these anymore, so we're gonna cut the vegan cookies that I was selling to them. So it's not, like, if I wanted to be 100% accessible all the time, I needed my own headquarters.
Yeah.
So that's when I started looking, and then this became available to me. I wasn't even ready to, like, move into a place yet, but the previous business owner was looking for someone to take over the area, so it became available. So I was like, okay, this is it.
I think it's interesting that you were selling out of different restaurants, you know, prior to starting your own, like, brick and mortar. How can you kind of walk us through the process of how that happened? Like, what was your conversation, or what was your thought process when you were walking into those restaurants saying, hey, I got stuff?
Well, the thing about vegan pastries right now in Delaware is, like, literally nobody has them. So it was really easy for me to go, hey, I'm a baker, I have my permits, my license, try these. If you like them, then we can talk about selling them in your shop or selling them in your cafe. And they liked them. So that was easy, like, they sell themselves. It's, you know, because they were looking for a vegan option where because, you know, a lot of places don't know how to bake vegan, or how they don't know where to get them. So for a place like Brouhaha or like Drop Squad, like, to have someone in the city that, like, is a part of the community that can bake them for you, that's like an answer to their problem. So, yeah. That part was kind of easy.
Go ahead.
So we kind of touched upon this, and even when we were talking before, while we were getting set up, and I kind of heard a little piece of what I was interested in when we were talking right now. You know, do you feel like, I'm sure it does to some extent, but, like, talk a little bit about how vegan sort of trends, and then how there are different parts of the community that you were kind of talking about. And that's kind of a lot all in one question, but, you know, I'm very interested in that.
So vegan, the trend of veganism in Delaware, it's still kind of, like, coming up. Like, there's just starting to be more restaurants that have more vegan options. Like, we have now at least 2 restaurants that are fully vegan. Excuse me. And then the reasons behind whether they're vegan or not is what is different to me. Like, what I noticed when I started my business and people started to find out, like, they could get a dairy-free cake or an egg-free cake. There's people that have food sensitivities and allergies. There's people that have religious reasons why they don't eat certain things. Yeah, and there's people that have, like, ethical reasons why they don't want to eat certain things. And I was able to, like, become a part of each of those communities because of my offering of this one thing. And I love it. Because I love, like, different communities and stuff. And it to me was an example of how veganism can be an intersection between these different beliefs and different reasons for excluding animal products.
Right, because from my very middle of the road meathead, literally, like, I never would have thought about it like that. It's just like, I assume you don't eat meat basically for 1 or 2 reasons, but there's a lot of intersectionality there, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, on my wall, you can't see it from here, it says like vegan for the animals, because that was my first reason, vegan for human rights, and vegan for the environment. Because, and a lot of people think, oh, well, you care about animals, why don't you care about people? But I do care about people. So like while we
that's silly. I mean, I eat like.
I mean, I like animals more, but
I think the two of you have that in common.
Yes, and I care about the environment because we should care about the environment.
Right.
But there's people that come in here and they buy things and they don't really care about animals. They just want something that's healthier for them, or they want something that's less of a carbon footprint. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. You're still supporting my cause, so.
Yeah.
True.
But the human part of it is like a lot of people think that if we're sourcing vegan products, then those are at the expense of human workers. But we really go out of our way. I really go out of my way to source ingredients that are ethically harvested and ethically, like the businesses are ethical.
Yeah.
So like we don't use cocoa if they're not willing to say no to human slavery. So
Right.
that kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty. You throw them in there.
Right. Just trying to not have slavery involved with my food, you know? What a stress.
Exactly.
I mean, literally. I get it. I can appreciate that, you know?
Yeah.
So, I also was thinking, and I think this is a funny thing you touched upon, like, you know, as veganism is becoming more popular, you know, is it? Do you see it growing?
Yeah.
But I feel like certain people like you, and then you go even further back, like Abundance are like the OGs. Like you said it, you were like, I was a vegan when it wasn't popular, I was the only vegan. Now
And she was vegan before I was.
That's kind of what I'm saying. So it's like we got vegan OGs. I know if you go to my, you know, my any you know, elementary school right now, there are probably several kids who will already have, you know, more of a vegan diet, and I think it's a very interesting change in dynamic.
And when you're like going out now and you're seeing that change over of, oh, we now offer vegan friendly, what are you thinking when you're going to those restaurants?
It depends. So like, I like it when a restaurant offers vegan options. That's a good thing because it helps people who are trying to go out as a group, and like we're trying to plan where to go for my sister's birthday, and they're like, I don't know where you can eat. I'm like, well, I can eat a lot of places now, thankfully.
Right.
But then there's things like businesses like Hershey's coming out with vegan options, and then like a lot of people are excited about it, but I'm also like, okay, but what about that child slavery stuff? Like, so some of the businesses that are offering vegan options, they really have like their heart's in the right place, and it's a good thing for them and it's a good thing for us. But then some of them are really just using it as a marketing thing, and it's like, it's not reliable. Like, for example, Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Coffee. I'm not gonna like trash Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, but they offered the Impossible, I think it was the Impossible Beyond Sausage thing for a while, and everybody was like so excited. They're like, this is a win for veganism. We can have vegan sausages. And I was like, okay. But then after a while, they weren't selling them anymore because it just wasn't making them enough money. So that's why, while it's nice to have options, that's why I feel like it's important to support the businesses that have veganism as their mission, like us at Viva Vegan or like Drop Squad Kitchen or like Daily Veg, like
Oh, Daily Veg, yes. I was thinking of Go Vegan Philly.
Go Vegan Philly, and there's another one called Rooted AF. I haven't been there yet.
I see them on my DoorDash.
Yeah, I want to try them. I haven't had a chance.
So we are here today because I be scrolling and seeing stuff, and I saw that you have a GoFundMe. So can you tell us what's going on and how we can help?
So with the pandemic and inflation and pretty much everything that everybody else is struggling with right now, we've been going like through ups and downs, and the business has been like on a roller coaster since day one because we opened right before shutdowns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Right before.
Yeah. It's important to know.
Yeah.
You know?
We opened February, well, technically February 2020, and then we closed March 2020.
My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been like a roller coaster, and sometimes we have really great months and we're like, yes, we can do this, we're gonna make it. And then sometimes we hit like below keeping, what's it called? Making the, paying the bills.
Yeah. Yep.
And every month I've just been like, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. And then January of this year hit and it just got worse. And it's been worse, and it has like barely started picking up again. And I'm like doing everything I can, like learning about marketing and learning about different community things going on and different opportunities. But it's just not picking up fast enough. And I'm like, okay, well, what can we do to help us push through to the end of the year? And the big money maker for me was always the veg festivals, vegan festivals, music festivals. Like that's all I did to make money before I had this place. And then when COVID happened, all the festivals stopped.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
hit us both like musically and like business wise.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, well we don't need to rely on the festivals. We got the business, we got the storefront. Now we're up to the point where we're like, okay, I think we need to get out there because the festivals are happening again, and we really need to get out there, but we don't have the money to put into the festivals because it costs money to go.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
So I was like, threw it out there back in like December to my Facebook friends, and I was like, should I do a GoFundMe? Or is that something that people would not want to donate to because I'm like afraid to ask for help? And everybody said, do it. But then I got I got scared, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait, I'll make money enough, I'll be able to save up enough money and do it. And you have to apply for these festivals within the first few months of the year.
Yeah.
And we're like approaching the cutoff date, and I just do not have the funds.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we're still barely breaking even. So I was like, if I do a GoFundMe, I can ask people to help to raise money to pay for the application fees, for the equipment, for the licenses, because every festival has like food permits that you need to get. I need to renew my licenses here. I need to get more permits for here. It's just a lot of money. And I need to get newer equipment because a lot of our stuff broke last year.
Oh, wow.
Like we did farmer's market and it wore some of our stuff down, so we need to do that again. And there's so much piling on of like nickel and diming things.
Yeah.
And we're just not making enough money at the shop to pay for that.
Yeah.
So what is the GoFundMe? What is the actual GoFundMe so that people know how to clearly find it?
It's on my Facebook page. It also posted it on the business Facebook page and on Instagram. It's Help Evangelina's Vegan Desserts. That's the title of it.
Yep.
I'll also share links and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
And we will too.
Yeah. But yeah, and I set a goal of $4,000, but even if we just hit one, I mean, that's better than nothing. But like $4,000 is a good number.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say this, all right? No, bring out the trees. Tell me what we got here, 'cause you know what I'm saying? So listen, this is an OG
These are so cute.
vegan soldier. She's been doing it
Oh, they
for
smell
a
so
very
good.
long time.
Smell them.
She's all about, obviously, keeping us healthy.
want this one.
She's all about being, I don't know what the right exact word is, but like
good person.
A good person to animals,
A good
to,
human.
to life in general, and most importantly to me.
So this is supposed to be a
crunchy.
tea cookie. She
This-
has a tea cookie.
Give me some
Yeah,
tea.
tea cookie
Give me
or
that.
coffee.
Give me
I mean,
that. Give me some.
traditionally
Hold
coffee.
on.
I'm gonna dip
Give me
it.
a second.
What is this called?
Kulurakia.
Kururakia.
You swear you something with your little
If
accent.
you didn't know, I have a very close, my best friend is Greek, and we love the kururakias. So, Tell the people about this delicious treat that I actually completely enjoy. I would have no idea if you didn't tell me.
I love this.
That this, like, I don't, okay.
It's perfectly, it's lightly, it's like, it has this subtle sweetness with a crunch like a tea cookie.
And it tastes fresh.
Yes.
It is fresh.
Here's the thing for someone like me.
Wait, can I say this real quick?
Of course.
I've had vegan desserts.
This is the point.
There's only one place that I go to get vegan desserts. I come here. She's done
Why?
my wedding cake. She's
Why?
done birthday cakes. I've gotten cupcakes.
The wedding cake you didn't get to eat.
The wedding cake I didn't even get to eat.
That's hysterical.
We got a carrot cake. And I was in the hospital and Ishmael ate it and didn't
delicious,
bring
by
me
the way.
none.
It's delicious.
Yes, it's so good. And it's so cute. Look at that. Oh, do the YouTube hand.
No, but
Oh, you gotta put the hand behind.
Jay, why is it the same color as our fingers?
I don't know, but the point that needs to be made is this. Everyone knows that I eat everything, okay? Judge me as you see fit. But the main point is that if you are someone like me who eats meat every single meal almost, and think that if you eat something that is vegan, that you're not going to enjoy it or get nutrition out of it, which is absurd, this is literally a healthy option as a way to get your sugars and sweets if you just want something, you know, for fun. And the overall lifestyle, in as much as it is not me, I understand that it has it's a lot better than the average American diet. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's still delicious. So if you want to eat just good bakery cupcakes and cookies and tea, you can just separate all the vegan out of it.
Right.
If you just want some good cupcakes, come here and get them. And they're also vegan, so it's that, you know?
The thing that I love about Evangelina's desserts is that they don't taste like sometimes you can go to the store and you'll get those vegan things like I'll catch myself like, this vegan, let me get
Try
this
it,
so I
yeah.
can be good. And then I'm like, it's dry, there's too much sugar, not enough sugar, it's powdery, it's dry. Her stuff tastes like regular stuff.
That's the
I'm gonna
goal.
walk a fine line here, right? My wife used to have a small business where she baked. She's a baker. She loves baking. She makes fantastic
Yes, she does.
treats.
I've had some.
These treats are delicious. I know what, and
Yes.
I could not tell you the difference. Like, oh, this is clearly vegan. Like, oh my God, no, it's good.
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. It's just delicious.
Yes.
Because I come from a traditional family, making my treats taste not vegan was very important. Because I could not bring something to my family and like them taste it and be like, oh no, we're not eating this. Like they would be flat out like, no, that's not.
Can we open up this box?
I know, like, can you tell everybody what your ethnicity
give us your
is?
genetic makeup because the people got to understand.
Okay, so mind you, she vegan.
I'm vegan. My mom's side of the family is 100% Greek. So if you saw my big fat Greek wedding and they're all in there and she's like, oh, my boyfriend's vegetarian.
You don't eat no meat.
You don't eat no meat? I make you lamb. That is a real thing that happens.
My best friend in the whole wide world is Greek, so I understand. Listen, all the meat's on the spit, I understand. So keep going.
And then my dad's side, my dad was Mexican. I didn't grow up with my Mexican family, but I have Mexican friends.
Does anybody know a Mexican vegan?
Does anyone know a Greek
Mexican vegan? Exactly.
I need to know that.
So what was it like to sort of present that to your family? Because I know they're like, what in the
they thought it was a phase for the longest time. They didn't believe me. I was 17, and when I went vegan,
oh, that's adorable,
they were like,
honey.
yeah, they were like, oh, it's a phase. I had my son when I was 19. They were like, it's still a phase, because they were trying to get me to eat meat.
Right.
They were trying to get him to eat meat and stuff, and not just meat, but drink milk and cheese and all that stuff. They were like, it's a phase. My grandmother, my Greek yaya, finally accepted it when her doctor said, oh, vegan's a good thing. So my Greek family finally accepted it after their doctor told them, not me, even though I was telling them all this time. And because I would bring them treats and they would be like, okay, this is good. All right, this is good.
And I think that is the best way to drag them in. It's like, everyone quiet. Eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right, yeah. All right.
All of my Greek pastries, I have to give them to my grandmother first. If she likes them, then they're good.
Oh my
so, yeah.
The first time that you gave one of your treats to your family, what was going on through you? Like,
Oh my
what
gosh.
was that
Were you
like?
sweating?
I was excited because I was like, I got this. Because like my grandmother, she still laughs kind of when I suggest that I'm going to veganize something. Like Greeks, every Easter we have a Greek Easter bread, and I've been trying every year to make it. I just came so close this year, but it's not quite there yet. And well, the first time I asked my grandmother for the recipe, she laughed at me. She said, "Don't worry about it. Just buy it." Because it's like got 12 eggs in it. I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's like, don't worry about it. And it's really weird because the Greek culture, there's a lot of fasting, and fasting in Greek culture is like basically vegan. So I don't understand why it's such a weird concept.
That's
But
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, when we went to Greece, we would just tell the restaurants that we were fasting, and then everybody.
But it's like, if you're not going to fast,
Yeah.
why would you do that to yourself? But I get it,
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's great.
But and then if you're not fasting, they're like, why would earth
Right.
would you eat this? Like. But yeah, so it's been a good thing.
That's
But
cool.
and then as far as like the Mexican community, I have like some Mexican customers, and I team up with I always get her name wrong, but Veronica Castaneda. She has her own little. She was gonna start a kitchen called Veronica's Kitchen, and it was like she does traditional Mexican food, but she also does vegan versions of that too.
Oh, wow.
So like team up with her on Mexican Independence Day.
That's beautiful.
And we do like a takeout thing where she cooks
Yeah.
for people. Yeah, so that's
love
cool.
that.
Yeah. And with Mexicans, we have a lot of health issues because of the standard American diet is not what our bodies are meant for. So in reintroducing the plant-based.
I don't think the standard American diet is
you're
made
right.
for anyone.
It's really not. But it affected us so much, and like so, Veronica started eating more plant-based because it brought down her cholesterol, and it was like better for her overall. So she makes amazing Mexican vegan food.
That's
So,
really cool.
what can you say to the people watching as to why they should support?
Why you should support personally, if you want to help a single mom who has devoted her life to building this business and you feel like you have the means to help someone, that's one thing. Another thing is this is literally the only vegan kitchen, like vegan bakery in Delaware, and I don't want it just for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm proud of myself, I did this. Like I want to build this business so that I'm consistently pumping out good food, but also employing people and paying them well, like giving them benefits, be able to like pay for my life, for my child, and also to give back to the community and to support local charities. Like there's so much I want to do with this business, but we're at a point now that if we don't get over this milestone, this hump, we're gonna fail, and that's just honestly it. So that's why you should give.
I think something that we really have to think about is such a small state, such a small community. Everyone wants to support local business. What does that truly look like? And to me, it's making sure that we're looking to help the businesses that are asking for help.
And that deserve the help.
Yeah.
And
we're so quick to cheer on these big businesses that come in and buy up property and open it, and they don't care about the local community. But we have someone right here who's been dedicated to not only making beautiful and delicious treats, but she makes sure to educate people.
Yeah, and I want to hold more classes to teach people about veganism, but also, like we were, sorry, I got a cookie on my face.
It's delicious. Let me get me some.
Me and
Another one,
my assistant were talking about having classes to help young Latinas with their parents, like to teach them how to eat healthier and stuff like that. Before COVID, I was teaching a lot of classes And then like since then, we just haven't gotten back into it yet. So I want this to be a place where we can do that.
Can I dip this in tequila?
Probably, it'd probably be good.
I think that would work actually pretty well. Now that I'm thinking about it.
These are really
I
good.
just
These need to
usually
be-
with coffee,
I
but
got a second one. I wouldn't get a second one on camera if I didn't like this. I wouldn't fake
Can I
it.
buy these any time of the year?
no.
Jay, don't eat no more. I'm taking the rest
But
home.
maybe in the future, but not right now.
What do you feel is your best, dish here? If you if you come here, what do you got to get?
Her cake.
Yeah, the cakes are, my cakes are good.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like-
I know, her cakes are the bomb.
Yeah, no, even sometimes sometimes if we have like a leftover cake or something like that, I'll just be like, you know what, let's just eat it. And then I'll take a bite and I'm like, damn, good cake.
You got some good cake,
Cakes are
y'all.
good. And then like second to that would be the donuts. The donuts are really good.
Yes, those are
Yeah.
good.
Wait a minute.
Those are good.
Pause.
Those are really good.
Tell us about how I don't know too much about baking, and I will go right off the deep end
No,
very
we know.
quickly. But how do you make a vegan donut? Tell us about that process.
Okay, so my donuts are the cake-like baked ones. They're not the
Yes.
deep-fried ones like Dunkin' has.
That's why they're better.
Dottie's has the deep-fried ones. They're good, but
What does Federal do?
I don't know.
Federal?
Federal donuts?
Federal donuts, Philly.
Chicken and donuts in Philly?
Aren't they deep fried?
I don't know.
I
That's
have
why I was
no
thinking.
idea.
And the chicken grease?
Sorry.
I have no idea because as far
Do
as
you
I know,
have
they
vegan
don't
chicken
have
fried
vegan
donuts?
Can we stay on task? Now
Go
think
ahead,
about
sorry.
fried chicken.
Continue.
Okay,
please.
anyways, we're not talking about fried chicken.
In a vegan place. Like, what's wrong with you, Jay?
Bring a black man in, he's trying to put in some fried chicken. Lord have mercy.
Oh my God. Oh, there goes our support.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I have made vegan chicken and waffles. Actually, Drop Squad has really good vegan chicken
Yes,
and
they
waffles.
do.
Well,
Yes, they
exactly.
do.
But I made chicken and waffles donuts. So my donuts are cake-like, so I bake them in the oven. And they're like a thicker kind of cake consistency, and I add a little bit of nutmeg, so it has like a spice to it. And then they have different toppings. Like one is like a regular vanilla topping, one's cookies and cream, one's peanut butter cup. Like I just load them up with toppings.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah.
And didn't
Excuse me.
donuts leave or something?
Yeah, so someone told me my donuts taste like their donuts. I've never had their donuts.
They're delicious.
They are delicious. But
So-
hers
Yeah,
are
so-
the bomb.
Yeah.
The bomb.
And they're gone, and I'm here, so.
She said it. That's it. What do you like to make the most?
I like to make the cakes. Yeah, the
Okay.
cakes are fun.
What's the most outrageous cake you've ever made?
Outrageous? Meaning like flavor-wise or like the look of it?
Flavor.
Huh. Okay, the weirdest one I had was he wanted it to be like crunchy, so someone suggested he put chia seeds in it.
Oh.
And I didn't suggest that, but he went with it. So we put chia seeds in it, and that it was like a peanut butter cake, and I put a layer of chocolate, a layer of chia seeds, and a layer of chocolate over that.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know if they must have enjoyed it because they never said anything, but that was the weirdest request I think I can remember. The most interesting one I got that came out really good was my friend Nicole's wedding cake. Nicole, she used to have her own chef thing here. She was vegan noms for a while, or wild vegan kitchen or something like that. Or Yay Noms. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
she was pretty big in the vegan community here, but I did her wedding cake and she asked for a pistachio flavored cake. And that came out so good.
So many people are into this
So good.
pistachio thing, and it's not my thing.
You know, it came out like a spice cake. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I ground up the pistachios really finely for to sprinkle in the cake, and then I did like a little cinnamon and nutmegs, almost tastes like a carrot cake. And then I did the icing was vanilla, and I had little pistachio crumbles and flowers around the top, and it was so good. Everybody at the wedding was they had a regular cake and a vegan cake, and they all went for mine.
That's cool. My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
All this cake talk.
Yeah.
My God.
Is there anything else that you want to make sure that you communicate to the people?
She's
you
a
know?
singer. She's a beautiful singer. She plays guitar.
Is there anything else that you want to...
I like it better when she talks for me. No, go ahead.
She's open to booking.
Right.
You can book her like today.
If anybody has any open mics
Or paying gigs.
or paying
you know?
paying gigs are really good. I'm potentially looking into joining a band again, maybe.
Okay.
If I find the right people. But as far as business goes, we do have some things coming up. So the first week of May is going to be pretty busy because we have Cinco de Mayo. We have May the 4th because we're nerds. So
Okay.
we're probably going to do some Star Wars like cookies or cupcakes.
Yoda.
Yeah, I got Baby Yoda on the window up there. And then May 6th, we're doing our first ever game day here. So we're gonna set up tables, and I have a friend who's gonna come and like run like tabletop games, and people can just jump in and join and play with us, and maybe get a smoothie or a pastry while they play their games.
They will.
Yeah.
Pastry.
It's free to join the game. You know, we just hope that you buy some food. And that's going on at the same time as Free Comic Book Day, so it'll be like total nerd space back here.
Yeah.
We love that.
You're being creative too. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I do eventually want to have shows, so we can talk about that later.
And I will be here doing an acoustic set. So make sure you watch out for the date.
Yes, because the acoustics in here are fantastic. When
Yeah.
I'm in here baking by myself, it's like a whole concert.
Oh, she got.
You should go live on Facebook
I
when you're
really
baking and singing.
Yes.
But I
You
look
should
a
do
mess.
that.
That's the point.
Listen.
That's the point.
We want to see you looking a mess. I want to see you covered in powder, singing your face off, just making it,
Pistachios, all
making it
that.
pistachio cake.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell the people one more time exactly how we can support your GoFundMe.
Yes.
Okay, so you go to, if you look up, I think if you Google the GoFundMe, Help Evangelina's Vegan Desserts, or you can go to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/vegan desserts. I have the links on there. You can follow me at Evangelina's Vegan Desserts on Instagram. And I post the links for the GoFundMe on there. That's all I can think of is like just go search.
We'll make sure to
we'll have the
share
links.
the links and everything. But please, guys, you know, if you want to support local business, this is definitely one that you need to support.
Yeah, and I think we should try to throw this in there a little bit. Number one, yeah, obviously support local businesses, support great food and just awesome people.
Yeah.
And sort of as a side note, this week or next week, when is Wilmington Restaurant
Right
Week?
now.
This week. So this is, and I know, listen, she's in
even know
Newark, but come on
Yes.
down here.
Yes.
You know, this is the week of buying food out. So,
Yes.
you know, support Wilmington businesses, but come on down here and buy some of them cakes. You know
And
what I'm
just
saying?
like, I don't remember where we were. Oh no, when we were talking about Taco Tuesday. Every cupcake that you buy here, we get half of your cupcake. Is that how I said it?
What?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Remember-
I think you're
remember we
fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like the pro. If you say you are here after watching Naj and Jay,
Oh.
she gets all the money, but we get half the cupcake. Like, so just, you know, she's gonna wrap it up.
Do you want half the cupcake or you want a whole cupcake and just be like, you get a
So
cupcake,
order
we
two,
get a cupcake.
and then we get a cupcake. But you pay for two. There you go. You pay for two.
She wants you to buy her cupcakes.
But you're supporting Evangelina.
Yes. And also our hours here are 11 to 5 Wednesday through Thursday, and then 9:30 to 5 Friday and Saturday.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you
Well,
guys
thank
for
you.
watching. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
Yes.
for coming.
Thank you
for
for the
inviting us
cookies.
in.
Enjoy the
Look at all these. Look at that.
And I still have more that I gotta bake.
I know, because we stole all of these. Don't drop my cookies, Jay.
Oh!
Now we have to
I
split
might also
some.
be at the powwow too.
Oh, I think we're gonna try to get to this one.
Yeah.
this
Yes.
year,
I didn't
so,
make it because of
right.
the rain last year, but
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
thank you.
Bye.